Hi guys, my name is Andreas. I'm 21 years old. Last summer I had big plans, probably like most of you have for this summer. You'll learn as you get older. Sometimes fate has different plans for you. Definitely did for me. June 16th, I was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is a disease that would attack my nervous and muscle systems and leave me completely paralyzed as a quadriplegic for the summer. Overwhelming sense of positivity that not only I had, but the people around me that were supporting me had as well, my family and my loved ones. It was with this disease that I learned the powerful connection of your mind and your body and how they play off each other and how they can help each other heal. When they told me that I was going to be on my way down, I realized that this disease was going to take me for the full ride. There's always the possibility that it will only affect you a little bit, but we realized that it was going to go all the way with me. Doctors were trying to tell you this and being as nice as possible. And when they would do that, they also have to tell you the possibility of not getting better. To which my family and I would smile and say, well, we have other plans. And I knew at that point that I would be fine, because if it was up to me, I would do something about it. And sometimes doctors look at you like you're crazy. We'd wait until they leave the room, and then we'd say, yeah, well, we have our own plans. Sarah would come to my room at the end of the day after she'd get off work, but she would tell me all the people that were asking for me. That's when I began this idea in my head that I felt like I was about to run a marathon for the summer. It wasn't going to be an easy one, as most marathons aren't to run, and that some miles were going to be better than others. And I remember talking about that with her. As every card and every flower and every gift basket and fruit basket and teddy bear arrived, it was one more person on the sidelines that would be cheering me on. If I closed my eyes, I had the ability to almost hear people cheering for me. And those that were very close to me, like my parents and my sister and my boyfriend who were with me for the whole time, I felt like they were running it with me. It was comforting at some moments when you don't know what's going to happen, or there's a lot of pain involved, both mental and physical. And it's things like that, those visualizations of your support system that get you through those moments. At my lowest point in the disease, I was paralyzed from my neck to my toes. I had facial paralysis. I was breathing off of a vent and had a tracheotomy. I was unable to speak, and I was on a feeding tube. Not your ideal situation for your summer, but bottom line was that I was still alive, and the most important muscle in your body was still working for me, which is your mind, which is also the most powerful one. Humor is so important during a time like this. And people thought we were crazy. We held down the funniest room in the ICU. All sorts of people, including my sister, would come in and make me crack up laughing to the point where alarms for my blood pressure and my heart were going off, and nurses come in saying, "What are you doing in here?" And we'd say, "We're laughing." And they'd look at you like, "How could you be laughing right now?" And you have to live. You can't let anything stop you from laughing or smiling. Nurses would walk into my room in the morning and say, "Hello, how are you today?" What a question. For most people, they'd say, "Oh, I'm awful, my body hurts." I'd say, "Well, I'm just fantastic. Don't I look great?" I learned to completely remove myself from situations. Sometimes when people visiting you, is that even though that it was a good moment, it was hard to watch their reaction to the way that I looked or the state that I was in. And I trained my mind to be able to completely remove myself from the situation or the room without moving a muscle. And this was meditation. Just completely thinking about other places I would want to be, or other times in my life that make me truly happy, or visualizing that scene of that marathon and just running towards that finish line that I knew was there, and listening to those people that I knew were on the sidelines cheering for me. And that's how I would try to put myself to sleep, or just kind of escape from whatever was going on in the room at the moment, whether it be a procedure or doctor conversations that I just didn't want to hear. When it was finally time for me to leave the intensive care unit and head to a rehabilitation center, and I still was trached and I was on a vent, I had exactly 1 month before school would start. When I entered rehab, that I would not be returning, is what doctors said. You will be in no state to go back. And even if you are physically able, they told me I would not mentally be able to handle going back to school. I, at that point, had gained this sense of courage where they would tell me that, and I would reply with a smile by saying, well, I have my own plan. I let nobody stand in my way for that, and I worked every day. That's what I thought of, and that's what I visualized: school, that finish line, and knowing that I would get there. I actually had to fight for a discharge date to get back to school. The soonest one they would give me was the end of September, but that wasn't good enough for me. I rolled myself in and told them, I will leave and I will be walking out of here to go back to school. When I would be in my room, I would practice walking with my walker. I would lay in bed and just think about walking and think about running and moving every muscle in my body. And I remember saying to my family, I'm so close, I can feel it. There was a feeling of getting better, and I could feel myself doing things like raising my arms again and running around. I could feel it was so close. That's how powerful this positivity and this drivenness had come over me. And sure enough, I was discharged one day before school started. I was able to walk to the car, and I kind of turned around and looked at them all like, aha, I did it. To kind of complete my visualization, I was welcomed by family members and friends, and my sister had put up my finish line in the driveway to finish my race. So my visualization had come true, which is something that's very important. For any time that you're ever encountered with something, or you encounter something in your life that you don't think you can get past, you have to remember that it's all up here. Even if you can't move a muscle, meditation, visualization, and positivity helped me get through it. All that I'm left with is a couple scars and what I consider a pretty interesting story.